Welcome to another video. In this video, we're gonna talk about recovery and injury prevention and specifically what I do regarding those things. Now, in order to perform well in a half Ironman, you obviously have to train a lot and train mindfully and regularly. Of course, that all depends a little bit on how you wanna do in the race, if you wanna finish it faster or slower, and also on your background. Now, as you progress while training for an Ironman or whatever else, and while I progress on my Ironman journey, the workouts will become longer and the intensity and duration, overall weekly duration of my workouts, when they get longer, rest and injury prevention get more important. Because if you don't rest your body properly, you won't necessarily progress as fast and you also might risk injuring yourself. These are things we're gonna talk about in this video. I will be breaking down a few things that I do in order to recover properly and also prevent any injuries. And I'm by no means a professional. These are just things that I do and take into consideration while training and also while recovering. Now, I will break down this video into three parts. The first one is sleep, the second one is nutrition, and third one is active recovery and things I do in order to prevent injuries. Let's start off by talking about sleep. Sleep, I feel like, is one of those things that is very easy to neglect, especially if you're very busy with other things in life, such as work or anything else. Fortunately, currently, I have a routine where I can be very flexible if I need to be regarding my sleep and sometimes also working times. I personally strive to get 8 hours of sleep every night, and my routine is pretty much at 10:30 I go to sleep and then I wake up at 6:30 and I sleep exactly 8 hours. Yeah, I'm a very good sleeper. When I shut my eyes, it's like 5 or 10 minutes and I'm asleep. So I'm very fortunate for that. Now, while sleeping, your body is repairing your muscles and helping them recover by releasing growth hormones. Apart from recovery and repairing your muscles, while sleeping, your muscles are also adapting to the training you're doing. Because of lower inflammation in your body and because sleep helps with your immune function, you're also less likely to get sick, which might disrupt your training. Sleep for me is one of those things that I really try to stick to. I always try to sleep 8 hours. If I'm up later for some reason, or if I have to wake up earlier for work, I go to sleep earlier. Having said that, if there are like some days when I sleep less, let's say 7 hours or even 6.5 or 6 hours, I can still function like the next day. It doesn't affect me that much, even if I train the following day. But yeah, if I were to have many days in a row or many nights in a row when I don't sleep, that would affect me. But yeah, I always get in my 8 hours of sleep, also during weekends. The next topic, nutrition. Now, nutrition for me is one of those things that I've kept quite simple so far. Let's start with the things I eat. So, in a normal day while training, I've only had 3 meals per day, breakfast, lunch and then dinner. Now for breakfast, I usually have just a few pieces of bread, or actually 2 to 4 pieces of bread, a fruit and some sort of protein source, usually cottage cheese because I really like cottage cheese, and coffee. For lunch, depends on what I cook at work, but usually I make a big batch of something, let's say pasta, and then I eat that pretty much for the whole week. And I always try to make sure that I have enough carbs, enough protein in each meal and make it balanced, and also some sort of veggies or fruits, and preferably fresh ones. Now, I'm very frugal, so that's why I cook my meals by myself at work also. And also because it's easier to control what you eat and eat healthier in that way. And I find that it's not super expensive if you make everything yourself. And for dinner, it really depends what we're eating at home with my girlfriend, but usually we cook everything ourselves and try to make it as balanced and healthy as possible. So some sort of carbs, some sort of protein, and then fruits or vegetables. Cooking and like food-wise, it's very simple, but one thing that I do have to work on is to eat more regularly. So far, as I mentioned, I eat breakfast, lunch and dinner. Yeah, sometimes I've noticed that the gap between especially my lunch and dinner can be quite long, and actually very long. To give an example, on Mondays or pretty much every day at work, I eat lunch at 11:30 or 12 latest, and then Mondays I usually eat my dinner after my MMA training, which is at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. So that's a very big gap. So I'm trying to incorporate some sort of snack in the middle of the day during my work days around 3 or 4 to keep my energy levels up and also to help with my performance during my workouts. Now that's very briefly of what I eat and how often. I keep it very simple. Protein wise, I try to eat anywhere between 1 to 1.5 times my body weight in kilograms. So I weigh around 77 kilos, so I try to eat anywhere from 77 grams to, let's say, 110 grams of protein per day. Now that's everything I eat during the day. Now hydration wise, things that I drink during the day, I also keep very simple. In the morning, I usually drink a big glass of water, something like this. This is half a liter. And then I drink a few cups of coffee. During the day, I have this water bottle, which is 0.75 liters. I drink probably 1.5 or 2 times that amount. During the day, and especially during my workouts, I drink a lot of water. Apart from coffee in the morning and water during the day, and also 1 espresso after lunch, I don't drink pretty much anything else. Very rarely do I drink any juices or soft drinks or anything like that. Sometimes I buy sparkling water because I really like sparkling water, but I haven't done that for a while. Another thing regarding hydration, so far while training I haven't used electrolytes or drank like electrolyte drinks, but I think that's something I need to look more into and start incorporating into my workouts, especially when my intensity grows and also the duration of my workouts increase. Hydration wise, I keep it very simple, but I do try to drink a lot of water during the day, but also not too much. I read in the Triathlete's Training Bible that the thirst mechanism of humans is very accurate. When you feel thirsty or a little bit before, if you drink, then you're like good to go. Again, it's one of those things that I keep very simple. Now let's talk about supplements. My kind of philosophy or way of thinking around my supplements and the supplements I use. I of course prioritize eating proper food and getting everything I need from food, different protein sources. I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. That's something I'm trying to be mindful of. I use also supplements to supplement my diet and get some things that I might not be getting from my food. So every morning I take multivitamins and also a spoonful of fish oil, which has a lot of omega-3 fats, and then I take creatine also. And also in the evenings, right now because I'm donating blood quite regularly, I take iron supplements to replenish the iron levels in my body. Multivitamins are quite self-explanatory. They contain a variety of vitamins, and vitamins are needed for pretty much all of your bodily functions. I haven't really read into it so much, but I know it's important to get them. Fish oil I take because of the omega-3s, which help especially with your brain function, and yeah, I take those. And then creatine helps store energy in your muscles and helps with your performance overall. And yeah, the iron supplements or pills that I take are just to replenish my iron levels in my body. Other than these 4 things, after every workout I take a protein shake. Just basic whey protein, nothing more complicated. So that was a brief overview regarding my nutrition. Now let's talk about active recovery next. Currently, the things I do that could be considered active recovery are obviously stretching, winter swimming, going to sauna, and then also sometimes going to a sports massage. Stretching, well, it's kind of self-explanatory. By stretching, you obviously avoid your muscles getting really stiff and sore. Also, I guess it helps with blood flow and everything and helps with recovery ultimately. Stretching is one of those things that sometimes I admit I forget to do or maybe neglect to do consciously. Usually I stretch straight after the workout and also do some dynamic stretching before workouts. It's something I should be doing more of. After my workouts, I try to keep my stretches short and not too forceful, because obviously you don't want to pull or tear a muscle. That would be bad. In general, when I stretch, I notice that it helps my muscles recover better. I don't feel so tense the following day. Then something which is very special and kind of unique, especially in Finland, is going to sauna. Because the sauna is so hot, it increases your blood flow, it increases your heart rate, it helps your veins open up, so it increases blood flow to your extremities, and in this way it gets rid of possible waste in your body. It gets the blood flowing, it gets the oxygen pumping, and it's also just very, very relaxing, so it helps with recovery in like many different ways. Next up is winter swimming. It's in a way the opposite to going to sauna, because while you're going into cold water, you're exposing yourself to like really cold temperatures, especially in your extremities. The veins constrict, so there's less blood flow to your extremities. And then when you go again to the sauna or warm up in general, the blood flow increases again and your veins open up. Basically, when you go back and forth between something very cold and something very hot, it helps with your blood flow overall, and it gets rid of different waste and toxins in your body. The main thing and the main reason why I like going to sauna, and especially to sauna combined with winter swimming, is that it's very relaxing. When you go in the cold water and back in the sauna and do that back and forth, it's super relaxing. It's something you really have to experience by yourself to understand how good it feels. Now, the last part of things I do to actively recover is sports massage. Every month or every other month, I like going to a sports massage. First off, I think it's very relaxing. It's nice to go somewhere where someone works over your muscles and really open up your muscles and different knots that you might have. Yeah, so again, main reason why I go to massages is because it's super relaxing, but it really helps with your blood flow, which helps getting rid of different toxins in your body. And also I read that it stimulates your lymphatic system, which kind of gets your fluids going. Now, massages are one of those things that I feel like I could be going to more often, more regularly, but obviously they can be quite expensive, so I don't want to spend too much money on it. But now and then, when I feel like it, and yeah, when I feel like it could be beneficial for me, I go and have a massage. Now, in regards to injury prevention, so far, pretty much the only thing I do is I really focus on warming up properly before my workouts, whether it's swimming, running, biking, or my MMA workouts, especially my MMA workouts. I notice that especially if I don't warm up properly before my workouts, I notice that my, for instance, knees can give me some trouble, or yeah, it just doesn't feel good to train if I haven't warmed up properly. That's something I'm very mindful of. Now, when I'm warming up, I make sure to warm up all the big muscle groups that I will be using and also the joints that I will be using. Actually, there was a comment in one of my previous videos, many videos ago, where someone mentioned that running and cycling are very unilateral movements, meaning that you kind of move in one direction. So it's also important to take care of your muscles and develop like all of your muscles. So not only like focusing on the ones that work in one direction. Yeah, that's also stuff I'm paying attention to. Now that's all for this video. Very briefly, things I do regarding recovery and injury prevention. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. Once again, I really appreciate it. If you have any comments or thoughts, stuff that you do for recovery that you think I could benefit from knowing about, please feel free to leave those comments down below. Or if I said something that's not scientifically super correct, feel free to correct me down below also. I appreciate all kinds of input that I can get, because yeah, ultimately I do these videos to share my experience and also to learn new things. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I have some really exciting videos coming up. I have a trip to Singapore coming up in a few weeks. I'm planning to make some really awesome vlogs from there and kind of talk about how I manage training while traveling. And also I'm thinking I want to make more filmmaking stuff also. So I'm gonna make some sort of cinematic travel montage from my trip. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Let's get it.